Good evening. Welcome to Payoff Pitch presented by DraftKings. I am Chad Millman. I am joined by BJ Cunningham, by Sean Zerillo, by Collin Wilson. That's right. We are doing our best Chris Kattan impersonation. It's why we're all wearing tight black t-shirts. Later on, we're going to hit the clubs in Long Island, not too far from Zerillo's house. But before we do that, we got to get to the, oh God, Zerillo. We got to get to the huge slate for the evening. Already news is happening. Johnny Cueto may or may not be scratched from the Brewers lineup. We're going to talk about that in our best bet section. Everything we're talking about, all the data, all the research, all the facts, all the picks. It's available for free in the Action Network app. It's award-winning. Go download it. We're going to get right to the dingers. Collin, I'm going to start with you. I know BJ needs a minute. He needs to take a knee because he may or may not have been thinking about the Brewers. So Collin, you start first.
Well, it's not hard for me to be long-winded, so I'll see what I could do here. But I'm going to start with the Astros and the Mariners over 8.5. And really the book on Chris Flexen this year is that he has been a home road. The splits have just been wild. He's been fantastic at T-Mobile or Safeco or whatever you want to call the park. 90 points less in WOBA when he's at home, 150 points less in slugging percentage for opposing batters. But he gave up 7 earned runs in just 4 innings pitched against the Astros at home on July 27th, not too long ago. So, similarly, Luis Garcia, he ranks in the top 3 in AL Rookie of the Year FWAR, and he's been a treasure for the Astros this year, but he has been terrible on the road this year. 4.97 ERA away from Minute Maid. He's had double the amount of earned runs away from home than he's had at home. And that's in less innings too. So he gets knocked around no matter, when he's away anywhere. It doesn't matter what the park is. It doesn't matter if T-Mobile's as big as Seattle. So from a pitch arsenal perspective, Garcia's secondary most used pitch is the slider. That's important because the Mariners have positive run value on one pitch, the slider. They're negative against everything else. And if you look at what Flexen throws, his secondary stuff is a change and a curve. And that's where the Astros are plus 53 run value against those pitches combined. They hammer right-handers. I like the over 8.5 here.
You know what they say about Chris Flexen?
There's a rhyme coming here.
He weebas, wobas, but he doesn't fall down. Zerillo.
Oh my goodness.
Here's my rim shot. Come on, BJ.
Well, I'm taking the Brewers minus 135, and obviously Johnny Cueto just got scratched 1 minute before we came on here, but the replacement for that Giants is probably not going to be much better, but this bet is more about Corbin Burnes and the Brewers offense. In my opinion, Corbin Burnes has been the best starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. He leads the league with a 1.94 expected ERA, and the reason for that is because his control has just been ridiculous. He has a K per 9 rate over 12 and a walk per 9 rate under 2, and the only other starting pitcher that can say that is Garrett Cole. And, he mainly utilizes a cutter. He goes to it over 50% of the time, but his main 2 weapons have been his slider and his curveball. He's thrown them a combined 556 times, and opposing hitters only have 11 hits against them. And the Brewers have been hitting the ball pretty well over the past 30 days. They have over 100 weighted runs created plus. So who knows who the Giants are going to start tonight, but I don't really think it can be much better than Johnny Cueto, and I still think there's some value on the Brewers at minus 135 to burn past the Giants for a victory.
All right, well, look, this all of a sudden is an incredibly intriguing matchup. And I do want to ask Zerillo this before I get to him. If I had said to you, we're heading into September, I've got the Brewers and the Giants. I've got 2 teams that are racing for the playoffs. Are you thinking, oh yeah, that makes totally sense? Are you seeing the Giants? You've been on the Brewers all year. You were on the Brewers in preseason. This was the team you thought could win their division. This is a team that you still thought, when the odds were longer, that they would be the right team to win the National League pennant. Did you see a matchup in the Brewers and the Giants as being one that mattered this much this late in the season?
Probably not with the Giants, just because they had the Padres and the Dodgers in front of them. Now, I was on their win total over. I was very high on the Giants coming into the season. I don't think I saw them doing this well, nor did I think they would get to minus money to win the NL West at one point. So played some Dodgers to win the NL West last week. I think they're going to end up pulling away eventually, but I think everybody is happily surprised with how well the Giants have played. It made things very interesting this season.
I did want to stall for a second, Zerillo, because I just want to give the viewers a warning that you were about to say something so disgusting that they may want to close their ears. And you have been saying this all season long. So go ahead and say it again.
Well, I'll do it in alliterative form, Chad. Diamondbacks as dogs against the divisional rival. Now projected this around 145 tonight, would bet it down to about plus 160. But here's what absolutely shocked me when I looked into this matchup. The Diamondbacks have a better record over the past 2 months than the San Diego Padres. I mean, that's absolutely flooring to me. The Padres run differential about 40 runs better over that span, so they should have the better record. They're still 12 runs below average. And more importantly, both offenses kind of about the same. 96 WRC plus for the Padres. That's 4% below league average. Diamondbacks about 6% below. They're playing about on level terms. Padres starting pitching is completely falling apart. Bullpen about half run better than the Diamondbacks over that span. Starting pitching matchup, that's what we got to get into further. So Chris Paddock making his first start back tonight after injury, been off for about a month. His expected indicator is sitting between his 2019 and 2020 levels. The thing that's most concerning for me, though, is his changeup, which is his best pitch. It's a 70-grade pitch. It's returned to negative run value this season. So if he doesn't have his best pitch, what does he have? Throwing a curveball pretty well, but it makes his fastball easier to hit when you don't have to worry about that changeup coming behind it. Tyler Gilbert, can't really project him too well considering it's a limited 2021 sample. Also includes a no-hitter in there. Projection market, again, surprising to me, only has him about a half run worse than Paddock moving forward. So there's value on the Snakes tonight, and hopefully they come out a little pissed off against their divisional rivals.
Whoa, wait. Did you say hissed off? Oh my God. Dude.
Wow.
It's like you're trying to take my job right now. Listen, if I could stay up past 8:30, I totally want to stay up and watch this game and sweat it with you. We are going to go to the next segment. We call it Bang, Bang, Bet. Our contestants get a look at our wheel. We're going to spin it around. Wherever it lands, they have to make a decision in the moment, over, under that player prop. Producer extraordinaire, Christina Ventura, please spin the wheel for Mr. Collin Wilson. German Marquez from the Rockies, over 4.5 strikeouts, plus 120, over under 4.5 strikeouts, plus 120. What do you got, buddy?
I'll take the plus money on the over with this guy, especially when he's pitching away from home, because when you're in Coors Field, the stuff just doesn't move as much. But if you're going to pitch down in Arlington, I'll do that all day. So Marquez averages more than a strikeout per inning when he's on the road, but it's less when he's at home. And his last 4 road starts against really decent offenses, Cubs, Giants, Pods, Angels, 19.1 innings pitched, 24 Ks. The question is can we get 5 innings, and to get those 5 Ks to get over here? His 2 most used pitches are the 4-seam and the slider. Both of those pitches are plus pitches for him, negative run value pitches for the Rangers. And if you go a little bit further into that, the Rangers are 19th in strikeout rate against lefties. Against righties. But if you look closer, they're bottom 10 in advanced things like chase percentage, swing zone contact percentage, whiff percentage. So I think there is a great chance for German Marquez to get over 4.5 Ks tonight.
All right, BJ, I'm really hoping the player that this lands on for you is actually playing tonight. Christina, let's spin the wheel.
I hope so too, Chad.
All right, I'm sensing a theme. CJ Cron from the Colorado Rockies. Will he or won't he hit a home run? BJ, what say you?
I say yes at plus 300. CJ Cron's been one of the hottest hitters in Major League Baseball over the past 30 days. 496 weighted on base average and has 10 home runs in his last 25 games. He'll be facing AJ Alexy, who's making a spot start coming up from the minors. His numbers in double and triple A haven't been that great, over 4.3 xFIP. He mainly throws a fastball and a curveball, and those are 2 pitches that Cron just absolutely obliterates. Over a 425 expected weighted on base average, and 12 of his 24 home runs this season have came against one of those 2 pitches. And even if the Rangers have a short leash on Alexy tonight, their bullpen has just been atrocious over the past 3 days. They have a 5.13 xFIP. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity at a good price for one of the hottest hitters to hit a home run.
Again, I hope he actually makes it to the game. But right now, 2 of the players we're picking are on the Rockies. Zerillo, what is going to happen to you? What are you going to get? Let's spin the wheel. Drew Smiley from the Atlanta Braves, over or under 4.5 strikeouts. Zerillo.
Let's take the over 4.5. That's going to correlate well with my bet in the next segment. Now, Smiley was a pitcher I faded a lot earlier in the season. He's really struggling to start the campaign, but he's rounded into form lately. Past 10 starts, expected FIP under 4. Strikeout rate sitting at 25%. It's 4% above his rate on the season, which obviously factors that in. But Smiley pitched really well last year. Strikeout rate was over 30% in about 5-7 starts. xFIP around the same where it was this year. The Dodgers, this surprised me as well. They ranked 20th in strikeout rate against lefties this season. Actually ranked 17th in WRC plus against lefties. So they've killed righties, but they've actually struggled against southpaw pitching. Smiley, using that 25% strikeout rate, faces about 21 batters per game. You want to use the 23.5%, that's fine. Either way, that's going to get you a projection between 4.8, 5.25 strikeouts. Action Labs has him at 4.9 tonight. So I think there's definitely value on the over 4.5.
Well, listen, you said it. You're foreshadowing a little bit. We'll take it on to our next segment, which is when we like to, in theory, fade the public. Because we know you guys don't know nothing. That's why we're professionals. That's why you're watching us. We put our poll out into the Twitter sphere. We got the Braves and the Dodgers, 2 best records in the National League since August. +1.5 for the Braves, -1.5 for the Dodgers. The public right now, 56% on the Atlanta Braves. Collin Wilson, what do you say?
Again, with the public, especially with Drew Smiley, my Razorback Wu Pig Sui pitcher in the major leagues here. But, there's plenty of reasons why I think that the first 5 over goes along with taking an Atlanta +1.5 here. And really, how many innings are you going to get out of Smiley? He's gone 6 innings just twice in the last 14 starts. The Braves bullpen, and really the handicap for me comes down to the bullpens against each other. And you would think that the Dodgers have the better bullpen, but if you dig a little bit deeper into the stats, especially if you slice it back to July 1st, you'd find that the Braves bullpen is very much improved. They have a rank of 11th in walks on the season. That improves to 4th if you just go back to July 1st. Their BABIP is 24th on the season, but that's up to 18th if you just go the last 2 months. And then finally on the season, their xFIP is 19th for the bullpen for the Braves, but that's up to 9th over just the last 2 months. That bullpen is superiorly improving. I will take the Braves bullpen. I'll take Smiley. Give me Atlanta +1.5.
So basically what you're saying is you are a square tonight.
Always a square.
BJ, are you going to square this square?
Absolutely. Give me the Braves +1.5. Like Sean mentioned, the Dodgers, despite being one of the best offenses in baseball, they don't hit lefties that well. Only a 311 weighted on base average, which ranks 22nd in the majors. And conversely, Atlanta's offense has been red hot over the past month, 332 weighted on base average. And they'll have a pretty good matchup against Julio Urias, because Urias mainly utilizes a fastball, curveball, changeup combination. And the Braves have been top 5 against curveballs and changeups over the past 30 days. And also, like Zerillo mentioned, Smiley been pitching better over the past few months. He mainly utilizes a fastball and a curveball. And if he uses his curveball a lot tonight, he'll have some success because the Dodgers don't hit breaking pitches that well. They have a negative 5.4 run value against curveballs in the month of August. So I'm going to square this square. Give me the Braves +4.5.
Zerillo, will you make the square go 3D?
Are we at 40 now if we're all going with the public? Doesn't that make it a Tesseract? Definitely on the Braves tonight. Like their money line as well. I'm a big fan of Carl Sagan. Chad, I got to throw that in wherever possible. Projected Atlanta around 170.
I love Carl Sagan. Don't even get me started on a Carl Sagan tangent.
We're going to have to change what we're talking about the rest of these shows. We could just go super deep on time travel if you want to. Projected Atlanta around 170 tonight. Like that too, about +180. So love the +1.5. Love the value on their money line. Mentioned the Dodgers haven't hit lefties well. Braves actually 1 spot below them. So no offensive advantage there. Actually make the Dodgers about a half run better offensively in my projections. Defensively, it's a wash. Dodgers bullpen, Collin mentioned, Atlanta has shown better metrics of late. Still project the Dodgers slightly better, but in terms of rest, definitely more banged up in terms of the performances lately. So I definitely think there's value on the Braves here, not just the +1.5 money line as well.
Listen, only a show. Carl Sagan is the one who said, only those who are so full of themselves cannot believe there is intelligent life outside of Earth in the universe. By the way, they might already be here. Who's to say that any intelligent life form would be coming just to take us away, just to attack us? That's all I'm saying. I'm for the Martians. Only a show that could make a Chris Kattan reference, tell you something to do disgusting like bet the Arizona Diamondbacks, and go deep into Carl Sagan can also bring you an homage to the greatest baseball segment in television history. Welcome to our version of This Week in Betting Baseball. Twib notes, folks. Are not calling Twib notes. We have a historic week of winners and losers, and finally a winner. Collin, the Yankees had their 13-game winning streak snapped by the A's on Saturday afternoon. Did you know if you had put $100 on the Yankees on August 14th when they beat the White Sox to begin their streak, you would have made $204,000 betting them every single game?
That's enough for a seat behind home plate at Yankee Stadium.
It is. It's also nearly double what Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris made combined in 1961 during their historic home run chase, which is the last time the Bronx Bombers had a winning streak this long.
Back then, the pursuit of the home run record was so intense, Roger Maris started losing his hair, which is how Orioles fans and bettors have been feeling all season long. On Wednesday afternoon, with their losing streak at 19 games, players resorted to burning sage in the locker room, in the dugout, and in the stadium. And it worked. They not only won, but crushed 3 homers off Shohei Ohtani to start a brand new streak.
The Pods and Dodgers made some history of their own on Wednesday night, with San Diego struggling to stay alive in the playoff race and LA fighting to keep pace with first place San Francisco. The SoCal squads went 16 innings in 6 hours. And from the 6th inning through the 15th, the under 8 total runs had a 95% chance or better to cash.
And then came the 16th, Chad. With the game tied 3-3, A.J. Pollock homered to center field, giving the Dodgers a 5-3 win and under bettors a push right off the Santa Monica Pier.
Finally, Collin, let's go to a game that didn't make history, involving 2 teams having unremarkable seasons, and one that will only be remembered by bettors and Travis Shaw's family.
You must be talking about the Rangers-Red Sox game last Monday, Chad.
That's right, my friend. A 3-3 game at the end of 9 became a 4-4 game at the end of 10.
Still a chance for under 9.5 bettors to cash.
Until Mr. Shaw stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and jacked a long bomb out of the park, crushing the spirits of under bettors everywhere.
Who knows what they were burning in Fenway at that time of day?
Collin, if I had to guess, it was betting tickets. This has been another edition of This Week in Betting Baseball, aka not Twib Notes. All right, so let's recap what we have tonight. Collin Wilson, you are on the Mariners, Astros over 8.5. German Marquez from the Rockies over 4.5 Ks at plus 120. You, like the public, are on the Braves. Oh, BJ, you are going to be on the Brewers at minus 135 against the Giants. You're going to be on CJ Cron and the Rockies to hit a home run plus 300. You are also on the Braves. Zerillo, you disgust me. You're on the Arizona Diamondbacks. You're hissing your way to victory plus 160 versus the fading Padres. Drew Smiley of the Braves over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 105. You are also on the Braves. It's like you're parlaying that whole thing together. I am Chad Millman for Collin Wilson, for BJ Cunningham, for Sean Zerillo. This has been Payoff Pitch presented by DraftKings. We will be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Good luck tonight.